What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your man, Boss Gang VIP. This is one of my favorite times. This is the new money stock portfolio update. Man, everything is going absolutely amazing. I hope you guys are following along. I hope everyone is loving the journey and learning how price action works along the way. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you can get the updates as soon as they drop. Without further ado, let's get into the update. Let me go ahead and maximize the screen for you guys. So this portfolio is 100% transparent. So I'm going to give you the updated numbers, show you what it looks like. Let's see. We made our contribution August 27th, $100. Robinhood gives you a 1% match on each of your contributions. So we get the plus $1. We actually made a purchase today of Alarian MLP ETF. This is the same company that we purchased last month, and we did get the dividend of $1.95. So that was pretty good. We were able to reinvest those dividends automatically and add to our positions. So for total contributions for the year of 2024 is $500. There's been a $5 match, and we have $6,500 until max. Obviously, I have my personal IRAs right on different accounts, and I'm just trying to use this personal account to help people out. So we're adding $100 a month. This is a historic day for the portfolio. The reason is because now the portfolio, we're over $1,000, and that gets me pretty excited. And I'll get into some reasons why. But one of the things I'm sure you've heard is that the average person doesn't have $1,000 in the event of emergency in their savings. So this just goes to show that all it actually takes is having a plan and being consistent. And if you do that, you should reap the rewards over time. So right now, we currently have 24 shares of NU AMLP. We doubled the position, and I'll get into the portfolio tracker. This is a dividend watch / tracker for the 2UP portfolio. And I've already updated this, and I'll give you an idea of what everything is looking like, right? So we just have the basic overview of all the holdings in the current portfolio and the current price, the price, the shares, the value, dividend yields, dividend growth, annual income, and the percentage of the portfolio. Let's get into the dividends value. Before we talked about the PE ratios, and I believe at the time, even though PLTR was less expensive, the PE ratio was like 229. NU, even when the price was less expensive, it was around 52. So we added these Alarians. So we definitely love those pipelines. We're at 12.96, which is pretty good right there. So performance, we kind of have the performance overall. We added to this position, which is great because we get to add AMLP. I believe we're actually going to get the run, so these should pretty much go instant green, and then there's a lot of opportunity over time for those. As you can see, everything is going absolutely wonderfully. Daily gainers, it was a tough day in the market today, but 6 total holdings, dividend yield 7%. I think that's pretty solid. 0.94 beta, which is pretty good. And then on Dividend Watch, you can check out different news for the different stocks in the portfolio. Pretty good. Dividends, one of my favorite parts. You can see we're up to $40 in dividends annually and $3.35 a month. This will continue to rise as the dividends are dripped into the account. We start to get some of those compound gains. So the annual income actually continues to go up. Even if we don't do anything, this number should continue to go up. $3.35 a month and 11 cents per day right now. So I think that's pretty good right there. 11 cents a day. So essentially we're getting paid regardless, and we don't actually have to do anything. So we can see the annual breakdown of where the income is actually coming from there. The diversification, large portion of the portfolio in the ETFs, the JP Morgan ETFs, along with Alarian, and then financial stocks, NU, Tech and Palantir, and consumer defensive in Coke. It breaks it down yield growth. So you got high yield, high growth in AMLP, JPQ, high yield, low growth in JEPI, low yield, low growth in Coke. It's so funny to say low growth, even though we clearly see that these stocks like Coke are, I think, off the entry, I don't know, it's absolutely ridiculous, 12-15% or something like that. So it's pretty crazy how that works. The type of stock, ETF, regular stocks, and the dividend yield, the 3 high dividend yield stocks, medium, Coke, and then no dividend. Obviously, we're just looking for growth out of Palantir and NU, and then in the future, maybe they will start to get some dividends. So that's just the overview. Everything is going absolutely fantastic. Absolutely couldn't hope for better results at this point. So I'm looking forward to keeping this going. One of the things we talked about, that $1,000, and so it's interesting to talk about $1,000, and it really just depends on where you're from. And I'm from the United States, so I'm always speaking about things from the perspective of being American. I'm from Los Angeles, California, Compton, California, to be more specific. If you know, you know. So United States, we're very, very rich, but came across an article, Money Manifesto. I believe this came out a few years ago, but I believe the overall idea still stands. It says, feeling poor. Feeling poor. Have you ever felt poor? Do you feel poor right now? Well, let's get into it. See where you fit in on the global rich list. Have you ever wondered, like, how rich am I? Okay. So have you ever wondered where your finances would rank globally? Would you be in the 1%, 5%, 10%, or the bottom 50%? Because, people hate the 1%, right? That's what they say, right? They say it's the 99% against the 1%. But are you in the bottom 50%? Are you in the top 1%? Let's get into it. Wonder no more. A tool exists to shine the light on where your finances rank. It's called the Global Rich List. The Global Rich List is a website aimed to educate people where they rank in the world financially. And this is going to be pretty cool because I'm motivated by competition, and as I get into some of these numbers, you'll see how this is kind of motivating for me, and it might be kind of motivating for you as well. You can choose from 2 different financial measures of wealth, annual income, or what is essentially net worth, to benchmark yourself against the world. The results might shock you. Think you're poor? Think again. What would you consider rich? Living in the top 50% of the world's population? Even if you think living in the top 10% is rich, you might be surprised to find out just how close you are to reaching your ideal. Rich list based on income. On the income scale, if you made minimum wage, which equates to $7.25 an hour or 15,000 a year, you would already be in the top 10% of global income. In fact, you'd be in the top 7.8 worldwide. And of course, I believe this article is a few years old, so the numbers would have to be updated. But the overall still stays the same, right? You'd be in the top 7.8% of earners simply by making minimum wage. And again, this is in the United States. If you make $50,000 per year, you would be in the top 0.31% of the world's population in terms of earning income. In California, I believe the median income is, I don't know, 70,000 or something like that, right? So typically, somebody in California or New York or something like that would be literally some of the like you'd be way at the top. And we have some numbers. We have a calculator to calculate this. It's pretty crazy. Earning just $50,000 puts you, 50,000 a year puts us in the top 1% of the world's population. Now, does that make you wonder about all of the hate about the 1%? Granted, we're not in the 1% in the United States, but if we make 50,000 per year, you're in 1% of the world, right? So obviously not in the United States. $50,000 from California it's not going to do much, to be honest. You're definitely gonna feel poor. Does that mean we should be helping others in less fortunate countries or more? Something to think about. The Global Rich List website gives you some stats to put this information more into perspective on a global basis. For instance, someone making $50,000 per year in the U.S. would have to work for 49 years to earn the same income if they were instead an average laborer in Zimbabwe. That's pretty crazy. Rich list based on net worth, and the global rich list lets you put your assets into the calculator, but it can subtract your liabilities, which will allow you to arrive at your net worth. Your calculator won't let you enter an amount lower than $1,000 based on a net worth of just $1,000, which includes all of your possessions like clothes. You would of the world's wealthiest people. That's not quite as dramatic as with the income side of things, but it would be easy only to have a net worth of $1,000 based on Americans' awful consumer habits. And I always talk to people about consumption habits, and you'll see once I get into these numbers how crazy things are. Now, obviously, we have things that are out of our control, like inflation, right? So it lowers the value of our currency. So we can't do anything about that, but we need to take accountability for the things that we do control, right? So we can't change the price of things, but we can change overspending and consuming on things that we really don't need, right? So those are the things that are in our control. The things that are in our control are investing and trying to outpace inflation, and to where we get into this position in life to where these things don't actually affect our daily living and our daily circumstances, right? So that's the position we're trying to get to. So we're going to try to motivate people to get there. What about 10,000? That will put you in the top 32%, 100,000, which puts in the net worth, and this is counting different assets. This is not actually cash. So a lot of people have things that maybe that they'll call assets, which a lot of things they call assets, I'm gonna call debt. But just things you can actually clothes. If you want to liquidate all your clothes, I suppose you could, but I think it's a crime to walk around naked in most places. right? So that is something you could do, but just having $1,000 cash, that is going to put you in a select group of people because, to be honest, most people don't have it. Now, if you notice when they talked about how much people make compared to how much people have saved, different number. If you have $1,000 worth of items, you're in the top 69% of the world's wealth. You have $1,000 cash, that puts you in a totally different place. The actual global rich list, you can check it out on the website where we can put in the income and we'll see how this works. So let's go, let's see, USA dollar. And this is just pure income. So let's just say you have an annual income of $50,000. It'll show you the results. And that's where we came up with the numbers where it showed earlier you'd be in the top 0.31% of richest people in the world. That makes you the 18,652,583rd richest person on earth by income. But what about people making 100,000? So a lot of people are doing better than they thought, huh? You're like, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. I'm not doing too bad. If you make 100,000, you're 0.08%. You'd be the 5,067,405th person in the world. You see where I'm going with this? So I started looking at this and thinking to myself, wait a second. I need to move up in the world rankings of wealth. So what I'm going to do is continue to be wise with my spending, try to limit my expenses, try to be efficient so that I can move up on the richest person in the world scale. All right, now check this out. What if you get to a quarter million? Annual income. Come on now, calculate. 2 million? 2 million. Some people don't even know where they are. They're like, wait a second. I'm in the top 2 million? And I'm still broke. I'm still broke. I still have a lot of debt. Yeah, it's crazy. Just this kind of just points out how, like, a lot of times, we can feel poor, but even though we can have a lot of resources, it's just that we have such a culture, especially in the United States, of consumption that nothing is ever enough. You could make $1 million a year, you'd have more money than virtually everybody or anybody you'd run around, come around, and then people still seem to be struggling. So I don't know. Maybe this motivates you. I know it motivates me because I want to keep getting up in the global rankings. But everything is going absolutely according to plan. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any question, make sure to put those down in the comments below. Share this video with the people you love. As you can see, I'm trying to keep this very, very simple. I'm not getting into any trading or anything like that. I just want to make this something that anybody can follow, and I want people to be motivated. So hopefully that's happening. With that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing the results, and I assume, and I'm hoping, I'm looking forward to them being absolutely awesome. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your time. Keep following along. This is your man, Boss Game VIP. I'm going to catch up with you next time. I'm out. Peace.